Hello, welcome to the Basketball Soapbox. I'm your host, Daniel Daly. In this edition of Quick Hits, which is probably not going to be a quick one because this is the hometown team. This is the Boston Celtics. I'm going to be talking about their quick start. As they won tonight, I'm filming this after the Boston Celtics Denver Nuggets game where the Celtics won 131 to 112 against the red hot Denver Nuggets. Both teams on 4-game winning streaks coming into this game here on Friday night. And what I saw was just basically Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown doing what they have done all season, basically lead this team to a victory, chipping in both ways. Al Horford having a big game, knocking down 6 threes. Great effort from Peyton Pritchard, Luke Cornett, Derek White adding in, Grant Williams being chippy in this game, really stumbling the MVP, Nikola Jokic, even though he had a big game. I think he had 29 points. Got a little bit testy at the end there when he towards the end of the game. Jamal Murray kind of held in check a little bit and just kind of holding this Denver team not really in check, but our offense was just better. They couldn't get stops against us. And the Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, again, just being unstoppable. But let's get into it. Obviously, the topic is the Boston Celtics playing really, really well to start the season. Coming into the season, I was concerned about their defense, especially without Robert Williams, Ime Udoka being suspended, all that happening. Joe Mazzulla taking over. How would this impact? But I was confident in what I been reading in the offseason about Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. They're getting stronger, of course, coming into the season, seeing that over the first couple games and just seeing how they are really taking over. Boston team is really clicking in all cylinders. First in offense. Our defense is 24th in the league at the time of this recording. It probably went up. Our offense probably went up again, scoring all those points. But that's the one thing I was concerned over the first 20, 30 games coming into the season. I know our defense is going to be back when Rob Williams gets back eventually at some point. But our offense has always been stagnant, though, even in the Brad Stevens years. Those last, even Doc Rivers years, actually, just getting stagnant for maybe 1 or 2 minutes is fine. But when you're stagnant for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nearly a whole quarter offensively, just not getting good shots, not getting anything really efficient-wise for your team overall, that was always going to be a major concern. So that was the thing that I wanted to see over the first couple 20, 30 games. And so far, the Celtics being number 1 in the league, I did not see that happening. We're moving the ball real well. But most importantly, we're really shooting it well. I think they're first in makes and takes, attempts and makes from 3 in the league, and they're 4th in percentage-wise at 39% there. 4th in free throws and 10 in attempts. We're getting to the line, and we're being very, very efficient on that end of the ball. There, the offense. We're knocking down our shots. We're getting to the line. And especially Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum are cooking. These guys are really being a 1-2 punch in this league that's been brewing for the past couple of years. People saying trade them, they can't play together, all this bull crap that I really didn't agree with, that I thought was bullshit. I thought that they just needed team time. People are forgetting that these two guys are real young, I think 25 and 24 respectively, really coming into their own, really hitting their strides as players, and you're seeing it there. All the numbers at the bottom there, nearly 60 points per game between the duo between both of them. Jaylen Brown, 25.4 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Those are typically his numbers, but we're seeing a more efficient Jaylen Brown, a guy that's able to knock down threes, especially finish at the rim, go through contact, and be strong. Same with Jayson Tatum, who has been thought of as an MVP candidate. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and you're just seeing his efficiency. Both of these guys able to finish through contact, finish at the rim, going to the basket more, getting to the line more efficient shots. Even their passing is a little bit better overall. The team is better passing-wise. But just in general, you're looking at these two guys who are basically arguably one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. I would say they're one of the best. I can't think of another duo that's better than them right now. maybe a Giannis and Chris Middleton, and when Chris Middleton comes back potentially. But right now, these guys are cooking, and there's nothing really stopping them. Every game has been nearly 30 to 25 points between both of these guys individually. So to get that on a nightly basis for this team, and I think I saw a stat only 15 games into the season or something like that. They're only behind Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant and Kobe and Shaq duos. Those are two great all-time scoring duos, all two great teams that I can remember the Thunder and the Lakers at during those times. So to be in consideration, to be in the conversation with those guys is very, very impressive for this young duo. And to do it how they're doing it, from basically everywhere on the court, mid-range, getting to the basket, from the three, getting to the line, most importantly, getting easy shots, really something that they struggled over the first couple of years of their career to get. They would make things look easy at times and finish, and you can see the flashes of youthfulness and great scoring that these two guys can be. But the struggle was always taking bad shots, not getting to the line enough. That was one of the things that we've always been very critical of these two guys, the Jays, of doing, getting to the line, getting easy shots. And this year, I think maybe one game I saw where they were taking bad shots, but overall, both of them respectively have been taking it up a notch, really having their imprint on the game throughout the game. And at some points, if Jayson Tatum's having a slow start, Jaylen Brown's getting off to a fast start. If Jayson Tatum's off to a fast start, Jaylen Brown catches up in the second half. And they're really feeding off each other, playing off each other, really understanding, hey, we can win night to night nearly every game. Like, we should be, if we're going to lose, it shouldn't be on us, on our production for our team. It shouldn't be that way. But they're also finding guys between both of them. And this team is just playing really, 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 really well, and really putting up an impressive start to the season. Again, I'm giddy as a Celtics fan, like just seeing these guys play, seeing their growth, seeing their strength, especially finishing at the rim, because there was a lot of times when they were leaving points out there. Jayson Tatum added his floater. Jaylen Brown's really finishing, really working on his creativity around the basket and finishing, not just putting something up and missing it or short rimming it and missing completely. They're really finishing with efficiency, and it's really paying dividends for the Celtics. Going on to my dog, Marcus Smart, what he's doing over the last couple of games. He only had 5 assists tonight. Those are the stats below. The 10-plus assists is what he had the 3 previous games, where he had, I think, only 1 turnover between those 3 games, or whatever the case may be. But he's really finding his way passing the ball. He's not going to be an efficient shooter. We already accepted that, but he's always able to make up for it with his defensive play. Obviously the defensive player of the year last year, in the running already to NBA.com and stuff like that. They're already saying he's already in consideration of it early on this year with Giannis and OG Anunoby of Toronto. But what Marcus Smart brings on a night-to-night basis is that feistiness, to be that playmaker ability that he seems to be getting more and more comfortable with, getting guys the ball, really directing traffic, getting Tatum good shots, getting Brown good shots, saying, hey, we got to feed the hot hand here. Of course, he's going to have his occasional, I'm going to get my shot off at some point. He's going to do that, but you got to love his play and what he brings to this team night in, night out. And really, if he's able to play this playmaker role and really take care of the ball, because I think that's the most important thing. I think he's averaging low assists. I think it's only like 1.6 or something like that per game. When you're barely turning over the ball, that means your team is getting more efficient shots. They're getting more effective possessions. Even if it's not a make, you're getting good looks for your team. And for Marcus Smart to take that step up and continue to do that, averaging a career high in assists with 7 right now, if he can just find his shot some point this season, which I think he will, because it's kind of like a slow build with Marcus Smart, in that regard on the offensive end. He's going to be streaky at times, so hopefully he's able to just get a little bit more consistent there. But his defense is going to be there. I think he was plus 28 tonight against the Denver Nuggets, really pestering Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., all these other guys, really just playing Marcus Smart basketball. He's going to dive on the floor first. He's going to pick up the best guy. He's going to try to do everything he can to be in the way, be an irritant on that side. But again, Marcus Smart, I can't say enough about him. I love his game and what he brings, and what he brings to this team, and his ability to grow in his role as a point guard, as a pure point guard, actually passing the ball, making fancy passes, but most importantly, taking care of the ball, which is really, 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 really was a stressing point last season, especially in the playoffs, especially in the finals. For him to take that step up, for the Celtics overall to take that step up and really try to cut down on those mistakes, it's going to pay dividends. Moving on, going to the impact of the bench, I cannot speak enough about this bench right now. Tonight, even we saw with Malcolm Brogdon out, Peyton Pritchard able to have double digit scoring, get a couple feisty rebounds and steals, really putting his fingerprints on the game in his time that he was available to play out there. Luke Cornett, his weird defensive thing when he's doing this, that is something that is funny to me, but he chipped in tonight. I think he had 7 points and 6 rebounds. So to get that production from Luke Cornett and Peyton Pritchard into the rotation guys now, to get that type of productivity from them is very encouraging going forward. If you can have that strength throughout your whole bench. But Malcolm Brogdon, of course, I think he's had a hamstring injury that he's been that he was out last game against Detroit. He's averaging 13.7 points per game, nearly 4 rebounds, nearly 4 assists, but his efficiency is able to be a better floor general than Peyton Pritchard in that regard, able to keep that pace up, able to be efficient, able to knock down his shots. Grant Williams tonight was just an irritant, got Aaron Gordon into a flagrant foul by just basically stepping in the way. You can check that out. And he's playing great. He's really knocking down his shots, especially from 3, shooting 51%, able to do some things, able to finish at the basket, create off the dribble a little bit more than being just a stand-up corner guy and really just knocking down threes. Is able to do a little bit more, but defensively, I think is the most underrated asset. Even though he's fouling a little bit too much this year for me, I think getting in the way, being able to battle on the boards, battle against bigs, be savvy, be able to step out, do various things, is really paying dividends for the Celtics team. And finally, Sam Hauser, he had 21, I believe, against the Pistons the other night. I think he had a slow night tonight. I think he only had 7 points tonight. I think that's 6, something like that. But Sam Hauser, his ability to shoot, and I think him and Grant Williams are shooting 50% from 3. I think they're the two guys shooting 50% from 3 this year on the same team. To be lights out like that, to provide that shooting, that spacing for Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, to create that massive spacing for those two guys is very impressive. And I think I read somewhere that they're 11th in rebounding, really doing it by committee over the last week or so. I think to start the season, that was going to be a stressing point. I think Andre Drummond, and Vucevic killed us in that Chicago game. I think they nearly both had 20 rebounds or something crazy like that. But to see over the past couple of weeks them do it collectively, Brown, Tatum, Pritchard tonight, multiple guys getting on the rebounding action, multiple guys with 7 rebounds, 8 rebounds, close to double-digit rebounds. It's going to take a team effort for that until Robert Williams comes back and is able to deter guys from getting on the glass, finishing at the rim, getting their own putbacks. So to see that the Celtics really pick up on that side of the ball, even though their defense is lacking, the ability to get rebounds and get stops is very important for this team. But just overall, as a Celtics fan, it's great to see Joe Mazzulla come in, stress that offensive points and that they had in the offseason. I'm pretty sure they did work on that. But to have Brown and Tatum come back and be stronger, to have Marcus Smart really understand his role as a point guard, passing, facilitating, and playing tough defense. Al Horford, the ability to take a couple nights off every now and then and come back refreshed is very encouraging, but it also allows that front line of the Celtics probably to try adding guys into the rotation a little bit more over the season. Getting Al Horford out there, not playing all those games, preserving his body for the playoffs, and having Grant Williams build confidence in his role, Sam Hauser, who knows how long Malcolm Brogdon is out, hopefully not long, but Peyton Pritchard also getting in there and showing what he can do and provide that effort, even though he's not the greatest defensively. If he's able to provide effort plays for this team, he definitely has value on this team that I've always thought he had. I think he has a little bit more scoring ability. I think he has a little bit more playmaking ability. We'll see what he can do. Grant Williams, there's still the mystery of Blake Griffin, whatever he's going to be able to bring to this team, whether they're saving his body for the playoffs as well, just to be a big body, provide effort plays, rebounding. Luke Cornett to spread the floor. Like, this team is so – it's just to see this offense be that high octane, to be that efficient, to be effective, to basically blow out teams 9-9. Like, Denver's a good team. They're not the greatest defensively. I think they're top 15 defensively. Offensively, they're going to be great. But to see the Celtics offense click like this, I don't think they were higher than 10th. I think they might have been 8th one year. I'm not sure. But to see it be this proficient, this efficient, this basically Tatum and Brown playing at a different level to start the season, basically get any shots they want, finish how they want, score how they want, get other guys involved at times. It's definitely impressive to see, and Joe Mazzulla is doing a great job getting these guys to understand pace and where they need to be. It's just great to see. And again, Al Horford, the ageless wonder, coming in. I call him El Presidente. I call him Jaylen Brown, Nino Brown. I call Jayson Tatum Esteban. Like, these guys are really cooking with gas right now. They're really, really trusting each other. And I guess that's what it is, the trust of this core of Brown, Tatum, Smart, and then Al Horford, who went away for a year basically and came back. To see it be this efficient, to see it be again, just to see the stagnant offenses, even of the big three Celtics, and them just be stagnant for a while, and just like, we're having trouble getting shots, and we were always able to rely on our defense, and that was the calling card. That really what changed the season last year for the Boston Celtics was their defense last year. But to see this offense click like this is very impressive. I'm happy, and the Celtics are 9-3 to start the season. I believe they play Detroit tonight. It's Saturday morning, if you're wondering. But to see this team be like this right now, and then the potential of Robert Williams coming back, I'm excited.